Well, well, well. Look what the cat finally dragged in. 2 years late. AllegianceArts.com. Hello, Red Rooster. Let's see what's inside this thing.
With the box. What was in the box? What's in the box?
Not till you give me the
What's in
gun.
the box?
Okay, let's get to it. Hello, everybody. My name is Jason Robinson from Illustration by Design, and I am a graphic artist and illustrator and a huge comic book fan. And this is a comic book that I just got in the mail, and it's Red Rooster. It's a crowdfunded comic book, and it was created by Mitch Breitweiser and his wife, Elizabeth Breitweiser. And there's a big problem with this book that I haven't even opened yet. It's 2 years late. I first ordered this book in July of 2018, and it was due in March or April of 2019. And ever since then, I and thousands of other buyers of this book have been waiting very patiently for it, as we've gotten, I can only call excuse after excuse after excuse for why it's been late. And it's been frustrating for a lot of us because we really look forward to the book. We ended up funding the book to well over $100,000. I think it was close to $150,000. And while we have had to wait until now to get the book, 2 years late, we've also had to suffer seeing the book come out in Walmart over the past year, as Mitch Breitweiser decided to release the book to Walmart before releasing it to the people who actually paid money for the book ahead of time and who provided him with the funds to actually get his Walmart deal. So it's been extremely frustrating, annoying, and not a little. It's made me more than a little angry. Seeing a lot of the, I'll call them untruths, a lot of the misleading statement excuses that Mitch has given over the years as to why this book is late and why we haven't gotten what we were promised. But it's finally here. I'm going to crack it open and see what's in it. Now, what I'm going to predict, just based on Mitch's past history of disrespecting his supporters, his fans, and the people who backed his campaign, is that we're not going to get anything extra in this package. If to my mind, if Mitch had any integrity, he would also include the Walmart books that came out first before this book. Because when the backers originally backed Red Rooster, they were backing it under the understanding that they would get the first appearance, the first storyline of Red Rooster. That's what we paid for. We paid $35 for this book that I'm about to open. And that's what we were expecting. What I'm about to open is no longer the first storyline of Red Rooster, their first appearance of Red Rooster. What I'm about to open is basically a reprint of the Walmart books, which came out a year ago, which started coming out a year ago. And they ended, I think the last issue came out about a month ago. So we're just getting a reprint book. So I'm going to crack it open, see what's in it, and, see if it was worth the wait. Something tells me it's not, because I've gotten PDFs of the previous issues. I think I got issues 1 and 2 in PDF form. Mitch sent those out to try to hold over the fans until we got the actual book. And it's been less than impressive in many ways. But I'm going to crack it open. We can take a look. You can find my reviews of the previous 2 issues of Red Rooster down in the description below. I'll put links to them because I reviewed the first and second issue already, so you guys can check that out. But I'm going to crack this open, see what's inside, and again, ideally, we would be getting the actual paperback book, the actual book we were promised, and also the Walmart copies. So we actually have the first appearance of Red Rooster. But I don't think we're going to get that. I might be wrong, maybe Mitch will surprise me and show that he actually feels bad about letting down his supporters, misleading them about what that money they paid him for will be used for, and includes the Walmart books as well. I don't know. We'll find out. I'm about to open it up and we'll find out what's in here. All right. First thing that I notice is that this is a cool package. It is a Gemini mailer, but it's been printed with Mitch's Allegiance art, graphics on it. You have Red Rooster here, his logo wrapping around. You have Bass Reeves Marshall logo here, which is cool. I mean, I like that. It's a nice package. It's a package that is intended to protect the comic book inside, which is awesome. So that is good. But again, it's 2 years late, so you're gonna need a lot more than that to assuage me. All right, here we go. This is it, and yeah, all I've got is the book. There's no version. Yeah, it's just the actual book I paid for 3 years ago. Let me move this out of the way. There's no Walmart copies of the book. This is a reprint book of the Walmart original comics, which is, again, not what we paid for, not what I wanted. If we'd known ahead of time, if Mitch had been honest and said when he launched his campaign that what we were buying would be a reprint book of the actual floppy comic books that Walmart will be getting first, no one would have backed this book. We don't want a reprint book. We want actual first appearances of comic books. We want first editions. That's the thing that has value. This doesn't have any real value. It's a reprint. So let me open it up. At least he used a resealable bag, which is good. There's no backing board in it though, so it's just sort of flopping around in there, which is bad. And the thing that frustrates me most about this is that Mitch Breitweiser is not a novice. He is a professional comic book artist who worked for Marvel Comics before. He used to draw Captain America, so he knows what is required of him, what is expected of him as a comic book creator. He's created a whole comic book company to sell comic books, and I would think at the very least he would know that if you put a comic book in a comic book bag, include a backing board to at least try to add some protection. Ugh. All right, what we got here? Oh wow, we got a sticker. Wow. Look at that. Look at the detail on that sticker. It's so well done. Not. This was worth 2 years of waiting. No, it was not. Let's see what else is in here. Hey, look. We got a card promoting another book of Mitch Breitweiser's. This is by Stiles and Rosado. Trying to remember who Stiles is. I can't remember his first name. I mean, it's great art. Beautiful art. The Saints. Founders Edition. Interesting. Looks interesting. Save the past, rescue the future. Very interesting. I'm not buying it. You know why? Because I had to wait 2 years to get one book from Mitch Breitweiser. Why would I waste money and time buying anything else from Mitch Breitweiser if I have to wait another 2+ years? If I'm going to be told endless excuses about why the thing that I ordered is not the thing that I received. No, I'm not. No. Useless. What's this? Okay. I got some more. We got another sticker. Ooh, what is this? Ooh, look, it's a Red Rooster. Wow. Great. Thanks, Mitch. What's this? Trading cards. That's nice. But I don't open trading cards because, hopefully they'll be valuable one day. But, again, to me, it's kind of useless. And I usually wouldn't say that. I'd usually say, oh, man, that's cool. That's awesome. But this book is 2 years late. So any interest I had in any of these sort of minor little knickknacks that were added on to the book are useless to me. I don't care. All I want is what I ordered. And at the very least, if it's this late, put something significant in the package to make up for the lateness of the book and the piss poor excuses we've been given for why we've been treated the way we have as customers. Okay, here's the actual book. Red Rooster. Doesn't even have the name on the cover. Or on the back. Ugh. Has a nice little die cut on it. That's nice. Let me open it up. You have enough light. Can you guys see? There you go. All right. Here we go. We got... Okay, what? Okay, is this... I'm trying to think what this is. It's a... Okay, this is a book... Okay, this is... It's a book sleeve that covers the actual comic book itself. So it's a trade paperback, the actual book, that comes with a book sleeve that's identical to the cover and back cover. Oh, and actually the back cover has, and it's damaged. Ugh! Okay, see that? That's not good. If you're sending out books that are damaged like this, you got a little tick there. And I'm going to be real picky here because, again, this is 2 years late. And if something is 2 years late, I expect perfection. Perfection. There better be nothing wrong with this book. And I'm already seeing a lot of things wrong with the book. No backing board. No actual comic books from Walmart, which would be the first edition of the story, and the trade paperback is damaged. Okay, and I don't care how people feel about how picky I'm being. No. Mitch Breitweiser has earned no leeway from me. All right, here's the actual book. Actually, let me put it back in the sleeve just in case, so I don't damage it any further by accident. Ugh. All right, put it there. All right, opening it up. Here we have a signature from Mitch and his wife Elizabeth right there, which is fine. That's nice. Thank you very much. The cover itself is very thin. It's a trade paperback, but I have tons of trade paperbacks. This is very thin paper for a trade paperback. The actual pages themselves are fine, but this is... It doesn't feel like cardstock. It feels like a paper stock. Hold on one second. Let me check. Yeah, no, it's okay. Here's another trade paperback. I have tons of these. Okay, with most trade paperbacks, the cover, back cover are a cardstock. A significant feeling, of difference between that and the actual pages inside. There's a thickness, to give the book, solidity, some weight. Red Rooster, this book we've just gotten, this feels like paper. This cover feels like paper. It's not cardstock. If it is, it's extremely thin cardstock and it's barely more substantial than the pages inside. That's not good. Let me keep flipping through it. I've read, let's see. First, let me look at this here. Who worked on this? We have Mitch Breitweiser with Mark Pellegrini for story, and Mark Pellegrini was dropped out or was kicked off the book early on, so I don't even know how much of his material is inside the book at this point. Mitch Breitweiser, artist. Patrick Stiles, script. Okay, so that's the Stiles from The Saints. Kelsey Shannon, artist. Elizabeth Breitweiser, colorist. Mitch Breitweiser, cover. Okay. Eric Weathers, letter, blah, blah, blah. All right. Let me see. Let me just flip through it. Like I said, I've read the first... Yeah, I've read all this. I've read the first two pages, first two issues, And then this is the third issue. I mean, sorry, second issue in the story. And as a, if you if you look at my previous reviews of this book, I it my previous reviews were both had pointed out both the positive and the negative parts of the story. One of the negative parts has been the art itself. I mean, as you get further into the book, the art really starts falling apart, and I don't know what Mitch was doing, but he was just really rushing the art, and it shows with the drawings. I mean, it goes from fairly decent art in the beginning to just by the middle of the second issue, it's just crummy. And I don't know why. I mean, this book has been 3 years in the making, and it's just been. I mean, stuff like this sort of art is unacceptable for a professional artist, professional comic book artist. For a book that's 2 years late. I don't and I mentioned this in my previous reviews. I don't understand it, but I'm gonna start flipping into the final issue, and seeing if it gets any better. It looks okay. I'm gonna need to read through this and just see what's going on with everything, but I'm just gonna flip through it in general. Looks okay. Looks okay. Apparently, it ends in like some sort of cliffhanger. But I don't know. This I'm just flipping through it, and honestly, this book is not worth the wait. It was not worth the wait. I'm glad I finally got it. 2 years later. Actually, 2 years late. It's actually almost 3 years later. But from what I'm seeing of the book, having seen the first two issues and what I'm flipping through in this final issue, it wasn't worth the wait. If I knew ahead of time that I have to wait this long for this quality story, I would never have bought it. It's not worth it. The art is not worth it. The story isn't worth it. I mean, just the fact that you're getting part of a story. I guess this is like the first act of the Red Rooster story, and I had to wait 3 years for it. What am I going to do? Wait another 3 years for the second act? It doesn't make any sense. And I don't even know if Mitch Breitweiser will even continue with this character. So what was the point of putting this out if you're gonna do a half-assed job of it? I mean, I know what the point was for Mitch. It was to make a lot of money, which he did, so that he could use that to attract investors to fund his Walmart deal. But for the people who backed the book originally, who weren't told about his intentions of starting up a comic book company and using their money not to put out this book, but to use it to reel in big money investors to help him build whatever comic book empire he envisioned in his head. For us, this book it's worthless. It doesn't mean anything. It's not a first edition. I mean, the paperback's a first edition, but the story isn't a first edition. This is a reprint book. So yeah, this book is a huge disappointment, and Mitch Breitweiser is a huge disappointment because I'd never heard of Mitch Breitweiser before this crowdfunding campaign. I mean, he originally was part of comicsgate, and because of his involvement with comicsgate, he got a lot of support for his characters in his book, and he got a lot of eyeballs on who he was. Like I said, I never heard of him. So I found out about Mitch through comicsgate, And because of his history, working on big name characters like Captain America, he had a lot of, sort of professional cred with fans, and we trusted him to be able to put out a comic book on time and of high quality, and doing so within a reasonable amount of time. And he failed all on all levels of that promise. We got a book 2 years late with, for Mitch Breitweiser, looks like subpar artwork, and it's not even a complete story. It's not even it is not a satisfying package, a satisfying result for what we invested our money in 3 years ago. So, I will never back another Mitch Breitweiser project, because he's proven to me and to many other people that he can't be trusted. He can't be trusted to put out a comic book as promised. He can't be trusted to put one out on time. And he can't be trusted to do what he promises his customers or his clients, what he's promising. I will not waste another dime on Mitch Breitweiser, and it's for me, that's a shame, because I like Mitch's art, when he takes time to do it well. But there are tons of other comic book creators who are far more deserving of my money and my attention. There are so many independent creators out there who are basically novices, who have put out books on a regular basis, high quality books, and they don't have Mitch's experience, they don't have Mitch's name recognition, but they, unlike Mitch, have proven that they're committed to their customers and fulfilling what they promise them in their campaigns. And so I'm going to back those creators. I'm not going to back someone who promises one thing and then turns around and uses my money for something other than they promise, other than putting out a book, and then makes excuses for almost 3 years about why I haven't gotten what I bought. So, yeah. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, I don't know. At this point, I haven't read the last part, so I'll read the last part. I'll give a review of it later on. But as of now, Red Rooster is a scale of 1 to 10. I give it a 4. So I don't know. I'll read the last chapter of this trade paperback. See if it changes my mind. But I don't know. I don't see it doing so. What Mitch has delivered is subpar. It is unworthy of my money, my time, and my consideration. I can't recommend this to anyone. And I think I know a ton of people have asked for refunds, and they're probably better off. This isn't worth $35 at this point. So anyway, that's my unboxing of Red Rooster. Hope you liked it. If you didn't, that's fine too. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, and make sure to hit the like button if you would. I'm gonna do a review as well. So I'll probably attach it to this unboxing, and this will be a long video. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, guys, take care. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you later. Okay, bye.
2 weeks later.
Okay, I just finished Red Rooster, the whole thing. Just finished reading the entire thing, and let me just go through the basics. If you haven't read it already, Red Rooster, this trade paperback, this reprint of the Walmart comics that are currently out, starts off in, I guess, what you could call the present. It starts off with Red Rooster, and he's out in the wilderness somewhere by his cabin, and he is burying burying his dog. Okay, and at which point he says it's time to go home. So he's leaving his cabin in the woods, and he is going to be heading back to where I guess he grew up, where he comes from. He hops onto a train to get a ride. He's going to ride the rails back to wherever whatever town he's from. Yeah, meets some roughnecks, beats them up, and hops onto a train car. And from that point on, the story goes into the past, and these first three issues in this trade paperback basically tells a story of who Red Rooster was and how he ended up living in the woods alone and why. So that's basically the story. Now he's fighting a bunch of bad guys in this story. These characters here are all apparently his past enemies, his past villains, and they've been brought together by this guy who is a new character to everyone in the room. They don't know who he is, and he's a new mastermind, and he's going to get them to join forces, sort of like Lex Luthor bringing together the Legion of Doom to take care of Red Rooster, since each one of them has been put in jail at some point by Red Rooster. So they're all looking for revenge, and this guy promises them that his master plan will achieve that for them. So we get into the story. In this part of the story, Red Rooster and his sidekicks, Miss Midnight and Strong Boy, they go back to Red Rooster's hometown where his parents live, and these bad guys, this guy here, the bad guys are planning on hitting Red Rooster on his home base, on home ground, and they're going to attack the county fair where Red Rooster lives. So, Red Rooster doesn't know this, but they're planning this big, revenge plot. So that's where second issue comes in. Red Rooster goes home. He has all this stuff in his parents' garage, all his memorabilia, sort of like a bat cave, the Rooster Mobile and, his little logo on the barn floor, his spare costume, all this stuff. And, he and Strong Boy have conflict because Strong Boy, doesn't think that they need to have all this cosplay stuff in order to fight crime, it just causes trouble and everything. And, his parents show up. Red Rooster's parents show up, and they're trying to reconnect with him and everything. And then the night of the big fair happens, and the bad guys start putting their plan into action. They start showing up, causing trouble, I guess killing people and everything. And then one of the bad guys goes to his parents' house and kills them, sort of like Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen from Star Wars. Turns them into fried chicken here by electrocution, and then Miss Midnight gets attacked at the air base, the local airport, and she has to fight for her life. So the team is getting attacked on several different fronts, and Red Rooster finds out about this, and then he tries to stop them. So that's where the third issue comes in, where it's Red Rooster finally facing all these bad guys from his past, and they're trying to kill him, obviously. So and like I said, I've reviewed these first two issues, issue 1 and 2, in previous comic reviews. So just again, look in the links below in the description, and you can watch those as well. But with this last issue, which starts here, let's see. Okay, Miss Midnight is trying to contact the team because she got attacked. She's trying to alert them about the plot to poison the county fair by airplane. She can't get in touch with any of them because they're all being attacked. Strong Boy is down. Red Rooster's being electrocuted. This guy here, Pilgrim Shadow, is unconscious and I guess dying, barely breathing. and so they're on the ropes. Uh, Now the story is the story is okay. The story is fine, but as I mentioned earlier, as I sort of predicted and feared earlier, the the tie up the way this story wraps up is unsatisfying. It doesn't make much sense. Well, it makes sense. It makes sense in a way, where the bad guys lose. Okay, that makes sense. But what happens in it doesn't make a lot of sense, and they don't explain a lot of things. Let me, I guess, let me break it down. The main villain, the bald guy, the mastermind, this guy is he's not human. He I don't know what he is. He seems to be some sort of alien, or he's like a human. What, I don't know how to describe him. He's sort of like a human avatar for a bunch of bugs. He's talking, and like bugs are coming out of his body. So I don't know what he is. He's not human. And when Miss Midnight confronts him at one point here, she grabs him by the lapel. She's like, trying to get information out of him. He disintegrates into just like a pile of maggots, worms, and spiders and cockroaches, and then he scurries into the sewers. And he says, "We don't have a name. We have only a purpose, which you shall learn soon enough." Okay, that's fine, but they never explain what he is, what his purpose is, and ultimately what his goal is. What's the whole point? I mean, I know the point is to poison the fair, but that's one point, I guess, to why he's doing it. But why does he care? He's never fought Red Rooster before, so why is he involved? And then, at the end of the story, this one character who has like sort of like electrical equipment to kill people. Um, he tries to ramp up his power by linking his gear to the electrical grid of the fair, but it forms like some sort of black hole, some sort of portal is created that like sucks him in. Here he's getting ripped apart by this weird thing that's happening, and the guys are saying, it's like, hey, he's pulling everything in. How do we stop it? And they don't know what it is. He doesn't know what it is because he's equally confused. He says, wait, something doesn't feel right. So, and then this big portal shows up, and Miss Midnight drives the plane filled with poison into the portal, and then it closes again. But they never. What is this portal? It doesn't explain what this is. Is this part of the plot of the worm guy? I don't know. They don't explain it. It just this weird sci-fi angle just pops out of the blue in this last issue. No reference to it before. None of the characters seem to know what it is, and then as soon as the portal disappears, Red Rooster, he just takes off. He just runs away. I don't understand. I don't understand why. A lot of people have just been killed and hurt at the fair. Okay, so you would think that Red Rooster would be like, make sure everybody is okay. People who are hurt are able to get help and medical aid, but he just runs. He just takes off. He and his dog are just like, oh, let's go. And, he and his sidekick is left behind. Strong Boy is left behind, and then it says later. It's morning. It's hours later, and Strong Boy has made his way back to Red Rooster's house. I guess Red Rooster ran to bury his parents, but there are people dying where it doesn't make any sense. So, and then Red Rooster and Strong Boy have a fight because Strong Boy wants to know why he left, and he says, "Oh, my parents died." It's like, it's and then at the end, Red Rooster ends up going on a run because Strong Boy says that the newspapers are there. They're putting out early editions on the street, and somebody is going to be blamed for all this because the bad guys are all gone, which doesn't make any sense. I mean, the bad guys. How can the bad guys be all gone when the only ones who have really disappeared? I mean, there's still some bad guys around because they've knocked them out. They've taken them. They've taken them captive. So I don't understand that, but apparently Red Rooster is going to get blamed for this, for everything that's happened. And so Strong Boy turns in his wife beater, his superhero wife beater, and says, I'm leaving. Yeah, he says it's over, Frank. Red Rooster is over. So, yeah, no more Red Rooster here. So Red Rooster and his dog, Sparky, or whatever his name is, decide to just hit the road and just go off on their own. I guess hide in the woods from the police, which doesn't make any sense because he's been working with the police. And then at this point, it goes back to the present, where Red Rooster is on the train, and then these roughnecks on the train find out who he is because there's a wanted poster, $10,000 for his capture, dead or alive, and then they're about to wake him up, and that's how the story ends. Okay, but again, it doesn't make a lot of sense. The book is overall it starts off fine, starts off good, and then it just gets sloppy, both in the art and in the writing. The writing starts off okay. The general storyline is okay, but there's so many holes in the plot, so many holes in the story, that it's not a satisfying read. A lot of it just doesn't make any sense. And the art in issue 3 is better than in issue 2. Issue 2 was half the book was bad art. I mean, for Mitch Breitweiser, I'm saying. Half of the art was subpar. In this issue, the third issue, the art is more consistent, it's more solid, but there's still pages where I'm looking at it and I'm like, what? This art is not good. This is not. I look at scenes like this. What is this? This isn't a finished drawing. This is like a gesture sketch. So, and then, I'm looking at inconsistencies in the color. He's fighting this woman. She's obviously got on a blue dress. Blue dress. Okay, she's wearing a blue dress. And then he like takes them all out. He knocks them out. He pulls her out of the. He's holding her. Now she's wearing a red dress. I was like, is that the same woman? I'm assuming it is. But why is her dress color all of a sudden changing from blue to red? That's not good. And then I look at things like this. You have Strong Boy being held by, I don't know what this character's name is. He's like another strong guy, Lug Mug or whatever his name is. I have no idea. But this villain is holding Strong Boy from behind, in a bear hug. So they're both facing the same way, and the guy is trying to crush Strong Boy. But then the guy's still holding him. In order to get loose, Strong Boy bites his ear. Takes a chunk out of his ear with his teeth. I'm like, how does his head turn all the way around to rip that guy's ear off? It doesn't make any sense. It's like the guy's behind him. They're both facing in the same direction. It doesn't make any sense. So there are too many sloppy inconsistencies with this book, and it's not good. It doesn't help the story. It doesn't help the book, and it doesn't help me as a customer feel confident that this is a good deal. Here's the cover for the third issue. And I'm just looking at this arm here, and that's not just wonky like perspective from the page bending. This arm is like really funkily drawn. I'm not sure what's going on there. So, and again, it's just, I don't know. Mitch can do far better. I mean, here's some of the fan art, okay, for this book. These are just, amateurs, just fans. This art is better than the book in the Red Rooster. And that's embarrassing. These are drawings from artists who did not work on Red Rooster. These are just fans, and it's much better than some of the stuff that Mitch has done in this book. So, yeah, I'm not impressed at all. It's subpar work, a subpar book, subpar effort from Mitch Breitweiser, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the fans. I'm sorry for him, because this was his chance to introduce himself to a whole new legion of customers and fans, and he failed. He fell on his face, and he wasted a great opportunity. And I'm sorry. It's yeah. I'm not gonna buy anything else from Mitch. He got $35 out of me because I didn't know any better, but now I do. And so I hope he enjoys that $35, because there's a lot more he could have gotten out of me if he'd only kept his word, and if he'd only delivered a book as promised and on time, without a lot of insulting excuses as to why he couldn't do it. So, but anyway, that is my unboxing and review of Red Rooster. I'm going to put this in my comic book box, where it will probably sit until, I don't know, my dying day. And then I will let my heirs crack it open if they feel like it, and maybe give it another look, because I doubt if I'll ever read this again. But anyway, guys, that's my review. Red Rooster. Subpar work. Scale 1 to 10. Overall, it's a 4 still. There's nothing in that last chapter of the book that made any difference. And again, the way it ends, it's just, it ends with him in that boxcar, I guess heading back home to face the music. But I don't think there's not going to be another trade paperback. I guess Mitch's intent is to continue the story in single issues at Walmart, but I have no idea how consistent he'll be in terms of getting those issues out. Just based on the schedule he's had so far for putting out these books, you're not going to get another issue of Red Rooster probably for, I don't know, another 9 to 12 months. So, I mean, I'm definitely not going to, waste my time trying to find the next issue. It's just, it's just a waste. So again, it's a shame, because it could be a cool character, but at this point I have no interest in him. So anyway, guys, that's my review. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Make sure to hit the like button down below, hit the subscribe button, and make sure to hit the bell for notifications of future videos. Trying to think. Oh, also, I myself have a crowdfunded comic book that's currently available on Indiegogo. It's called Secret Comics Presents, and I will put the ad for it after this. And yeah, just go to secret-comics.com. You can check it out. It's written by Nasser Abadi, drawn by me. And unlike Mitch Breitweiser, we will not take 3 years to get it into your hands. Okay? But anyway, you guys take care. Here's the ad for Secret Comics Presents. You guys have a great day. Okay? Take care. Bye.
Welcome everybody to the Secret Comics Presents Indiegogo. This book is written by me, Nasser Rabadi, and drawn by the fantastic Jason Robinson. Our book contains 4 horror stories: Charlie Finds a Friend, There's Nothing to Be Scared of, Don't Open the Box, and A Knife in Darkness. For this relaunch, we've also extended our comic book from 20 pages to 22 pages, with the potential to add some behind-the-scenes extras if we hit our stretch goals. Order today and discover what terrors are lurking within.